It's the story of Jokamela. He was a chamar. He belonged to the caste of chamars. Traditionally, leather workers. But beyond all worldly labels, Jokamela was an amazing devotee of God. His heart always beat for Sri Krishna. So once he went to the market for some reason, for some work, and he happened to see nice, beautiful, ripe bananas. And at once his heart leapt. And he thought, wow, beautiful bananas. I should bring them and offer them to Sri Krishna at the temple. So in his eagerness, he forgot the purpose. He had gone to the market and he picked up the bananas, bought the bananas, and he went straight to the temple and offered them. He gave them to the priest, who at first, unaware, took them from him. And when he discovered who had offered them for Thakurji, he grew furious. He was mad and he threw the bananas. And he said, you imagine, how could you even imagine? How could you dare to offer these? A lowly person as yourself. He insulted him, rebuked him. So Jokamela, he picked up the bananas and he quietly went back to his home. He was heartbroken, not because of the insult and humiliation he was subjected to, no, but because he was grieving because he didn't have the opportunity to offer the bananas to Sri Krishna. So in the evening, when the priests of the temple, when they finished their daily rituals and they put Sri Krishna to bed, Sri Krishna was restless. He was restless. So he left the temple and he went to the house of Jokamela. And he said, my devotee, bring out those bananas. I'm hungry. So overwhelmed with humility, gratitude, Jokamela fell at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, and he said, my Lord, I am so fallen and unworthy. How could you possibly even, the bananas, how could you even take them, accept them? So Sri Krishna said, I did not reject them. Give them to me. So he ate them and he took a few back to the temple and gave them to Rukmaniji, and he said, taste them, how sweet they are. So in the morning when the priests opened the temple and they saw banana peels near the altar, and they knew what had happened. So they immediately rushed to Jokamela's house to teach him a lesson. And when they reached there, they beat him. They beat him cruelly. With such cruelty, they beat him. But how could God tolerate such injustice to his devotee? And so what happened was, Sri Krishna, while the priests were at Jokamela's house, he bolted the door from inside. And when the priests came back and they pleaded and begged the Lord to open the door, but he wouldn't. And he said, I will not open the door until you bring Jokamela on your shoulders to me here right now. It wasn't until then that the priests realized the depth of Jokamela's devotion and his bhakti to Sri Krishna. So they brought him, and before everyone, Sri Krishna gave him a hug, embraced him, took him in his embrace. So this story, it reveals the depth of Jokamela's devotion, how pure and unassuming his devotion was. And this reminds us that the heart of spirituality lies not in recognition or acclaim, no, but in the simplicity of the heart. The simplicity of the heart. the true calling of the heart, the true offering of the heart entirely. Yes. So as we pause tonight, I want to urge each and every one of us to think of humility not as a weakness, not as a passive quality, no, but humility and surrender are the keys that open the presence, or they bring the presence of God in our lives. Yes, in our lives. So when we may we remember the name Dinanath, not just as a word in our heart, but as an experience. As an experience, yes. Because when we call with a full heart, with a humble heart, we should know that we're never forsaken, but loved dearly, dearly. And lastly, tomorrow we will unfold the lines of this divine song and see how each word guides us to the living reality of God's grace, surrender, and devotion. So I will leave you with these thoughts.